welcome to my channel. I'm the Savvy Daughter, and today I'm going to teach y'all how to make my favorite and super simple sweet potato pie. We're getting close to Thanksgiving, and I love eating sweet potato pie close to Thanksgiving. It's really good. So my first step today is just going to be to peel and slice my 3 sweet potatoes. I cut my sweet potato up into relatively small pieces because the smaller the pieces are, the quicker they're going to soften while they're boiling. And my next step is to dump my potato pieces into a pot of boiling water and just boil them until they get pretty mushy. We're going to give my boiling potatoes just a pinch of salt. Good shake. I've got a whole bag of mini marshmallows that I'm going to dump in my bowl, and I'm just preparing the next step while my potatoes are boiling and softening. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this stick of butter up, and I need to use the whole stick of butter, into about 4 or 5 chunks. That's so funny. And then I'm going to just dump my chunks in the bowl on top of the marshmallows. And I cut it up just so that I can make sure that when I dump my potatoes on top of the butter melts completely. I brought my potatoes to a roiling boil, and I want to make sure that they boil until they get mushy and soft. Then I drain them and dump them on top of the marshmallows and butter that I put in a bowl. I can feel the steam coming through the top of this rag. I just drained my potatoes and then dumped them in the bowl with my butter and marshmallows like I said I was going to, but I put the rag on top so that I could make sure to hold the heat in for at least a couple of minutes to make sure that my butter melts completely before the potatoes cool off too much to do so. Come and look, and let's see if everything's melting correctly. Now that I have my melted mess of marshmallows and butter and my sweet potatoes, it's time to mix them up completely with my beater, and I had to move to where there's a plug. So that's why I'm over here now. I've got it mixed up fairly well, and the next ingredient I need to add is 1.5 cups of sugar. And I know it's a lot of sugar. Even as I was measuring it out, I thought, good grief, that's more sugar than I remember. But that's what makes it good. Now this is the part where a little bit of personal preference comes in. For me and my family, we love cinnamon. So I'm going to add quite a bit of cinnamon into my pie. I'm going to start with a teaspoon, but I'm just going to add, I don't know, enough that I can taste it really well. Some people don't like cinnamon and they don't add as much, and same goes for nutmeg. Some people love nutmeg, which is the other thing I'm about to add, and they'll use a ton of nutmeg. And some people don't like nutmeg at all and just may use very little. But I'm just going to start out with a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And my family likes cinnamon more than nutmeg, so I do more cinnamon than I do nutmeg. I mixed in the amount of cinnamon and nutmeg that I already added and determined that I'm going to have to add a little bit more cinnamon. So I'm adding another 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, for a total of 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. To keep this sweet potato pie simple and easy, I do not make a homemade pie crust. I just buy these frozen deep dish pie crusts from Walmart, and I don't know, I'm just telling y'all what I do. If you had to make your own pie crust from scratch, it wouldn't be really simple anymore, so I'm just going to use these frozen pie crusts. The hardest part about putting my filling into the pie crust is making sure that I get plenty of filling in each crust. So I've got to make sure that it's, more or less even. Gotta try my other one. I've got a big old bowl of filling here, so I'm just trying to not let it go everywhere. and using my scraper to keep it under control. For as long as I can remember, my mom has made these sweet potato pies, so I have helped her make these pies several times in the past, and I've always loved doing it. When I turned 10 years old, I think it was for my 10th birthday, I asked Mama to make me sweet potato pies instead of a cake. And I put candles in a sweet potato pie and had it basically as my birthday cake because I have always loved these pies. And my family has pretty much always eaten them close to Thanksgiving, which it's not quite Thanksgiving yet, but we're getting pretty close. So I'm just really happy to be able to make these pies today, mostly just because they're so delicious. And you can pretty much fill the pie crust up as much as you want to because this sweet potato mixture does not rise at all. It's been about 30 seconds since I filmed the last clip, and let this be a reminder, preheat your oven because I just went to put these pies in the oven and realized I hadn't turned it on, so now I'm gonna have to wait a few minutes. Okay guys, my pies are out of the oven, they're done, they're perfect, they look great. So now I just have to wait for them to cool, and then my whole family and I will be able to enjoy some sweet potato pie. They're really good with a scoop of ice cream on top. I think just about everything is. But especially these pies are really good with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top, so y'all just know that. I'm going to have the recipe for making these sweet potato pies at the end of this video if y'all want to give it a try because, guys, I'm just telling you, it's really, really good and it's a great thing to make for Thanksgiving. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed and I hope to see you on the next one.